All right, welcome everyone. I am so excited for this conversation. I am going to be speaking with one of my students, one of our family members. His name is Emery. I always love his smile when he comes to class. Emery, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing great, teacher Tiffany, and great to see you too.
Good, good. I see there's a little bit of a delay for the video, so it's okay. We'll keep talking, but for those watching the video, there might be a little bit of a delay, but the audio is perfect, so we're okay. We're okay.
Great.
Good, good. Now, Emery, I'm
Yeah,
calling you Emery, but I also know it's like Emery and then Ken. What is your
yeah.
preferred name for those listening and those watching?
Emery.
Perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, Emery, you know that I know you well. You've been in the academy for a while. I love seeing you
Mhm.
in our live classes, but can you
Yeah.
introduce yourself, Emery? Where are you
Mhm.
from, your family, your hobbies? Just let those listening or watching know more about you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, teacher Tiffany. First and foremost, I just want to thank you for the opportunity uh,
Mm,
having me in this
my pleasure.
program. So, as you said, my name is Emery. I've been in the academy since during the pandemic since 2001, maybe 2019 or 2020.
Uh-huh.
And I'm actually living in Canada,
Uh-huh.
but originally from Africa.
Hmm.
And for me, English, as I said the last time when we had a conversation together, my mom, she is from USA and she lives right now next to your city in Maryland. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why. But myself, I live in the French part in Canada. So in order to keep my English in the same level, because here mostly I speak in French, so that's why I decided to jump with you in the program. And since then, I like it.
I love it. I love it. Now you mentioned Emery again. Your mom lives here in Maryland. You're in, I'm
Mhm.
thinking, is it Montreal or Quebec?
Yeah,
Canada?
correct. Yeah.
Right. And you've been with us since 2020. Again, I'm always so happy whenever I see you pop into one of our classes. Um,
Mhm.
Emery, tell me this though. What is your hobby? We've never talked about this. What's your hobby or
No.
your interest, Emery?
Oh, this is a good question. I have different kind of hobby. And when I was younger, my hobby was to play soccer and
Mm,
to play soccer and to go to sing. I like to
nice.
sing, even though my voice is like, oh, but I like to sing. but but now as a father with my kids, what I like to do mostly, I like to do sport with them. We do
Oh,
taekwondo together
nice.
with my boys. Though, so that's my hobby right now. I like going outside with them, playing soccer, and at the same time doing taekwondo.
I love it. I love it. You sound like you're a great dad. Sounds like you're a great dad, Emery.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so let me ask this then, Emery, because you mentioned that where you are, French is the main language that you're speaking, right? The main language used in Montreal. Your mom
Yeah.
is here in America, so not just to speak with your mom, but just in general, you're trying to improve your English. But
Hmm.
when did you start studying English? Tell me, why
Mm.
did you choose? Like, why did you choose English? French is already a beautiful language. Why did you choose English, and when did you start studying, like really getting serious about English?
I, I will say that I started uh, learning English like when I graduate from high school,
Hmm.
because English was one of the main course in my country. We do have at that time we had the two options, French or Latin. But in my case, I didn't choose Latin, so I chose to do English. So since then, my nephew and my nieces, they speak only English.
Mm.
They speak only English. They don't speak French. So in
Uh-huh.
order to communicate with them, so I had to learn English. I had to improve my English in order to communicate with them. And with the time, my mom moved to Maryland. So that was one of the reason why I had to learn English in order to keep the communication with her. But sometimes I have to talk with some professional for her.
Yeah.
So I have to understand English, and I have to be able to discuss some subject with some professional there. So that's why I say, okay, let me take the course, and that would be a great thing to maintain my English at the same time, just to improve English. And it's a hobby too. I like English like a hobby. So
I like that.
Speaking with English is a great thing to discuss with people, and to meet new people from different countries. So English is like a common language that you can speak and share ideas with people.
I like that. I like that. You mentioned something that is very important about, I say, our academy, our family. And you've heard me say it before. It's not just about me. It literally, Emery, is about our family members, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned like being able to speak with people from all over the world. So let me ask you this. Since being a part of the academy and realizing that it's not just about the lessons that I've recorded, it's about the community. How has it made a difference in your life? Being able to meet people and actually develop strong relationships. How has that changed being a part of our family in the academy?
Oh, that was really a high opener for me. Because when you have the opportunity to meet different people, then you can understand and what people are going through first. Secondly, you can also, by speaking with other people, you can appreciate yourself and say, oh, I'm doing great. So my English is not so bad, because you got like encouragement from other colleagues and friends. And third, it's a great way to learn, because you learn about the history, you learn about the culture, you learn about some other people, how they live, how their country works. So it's very interesting for me. So I don't have to travel necessarily through the academy. I can learn, and this is great for me.
I love it. I also, as your teacher, want to say I'm very impressed. You gave 3 reasons to support your answer. Excellent job. Excellent job. Things you learned in the academy. You sound very, very natural. I love it.
Thank you. This is because of you.
Excellent. You put it into action. I'm proud of you. Good, good.
Thank you.
We've talked, Emery, so far about, how you've enjoyed the academy so far. We're going to go into a little bit more details, of course, and how meeting other people has been fun. But Emery, English, as you know, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes can be a little challenging. So I want to ask you, Emery, what's the hardest thing for you right now about studying English? What's the hardest thing? Is it time? Is it learning words? What is the hardest thing for you about studying English?
According to me, personally, one of the tough point that I found learning English is first the time. I was struggling about the time, because I have a family, I have to work, I have friends, and so on. So time was really one of the key issue for me. But since I started with the academy, I changed my mind, because now I can practice without taking like time to say, okay, I have to set like a time to read English. By speaking with friends, by speaking with some of the colleagues from the academy, it's a great way of learning. And at the same time, I'm in the family group. So sometimes I can just listen to some videos, some message. It's a great way like to catch some words, some expression, without taking time to say, okay, I have to set this time to read. So that's really, for me, it was a great thing to change my mind to say, okay, I can change the mind instead of setting the time. I can just doing my way and
Yes.
would improve. Yeah.
I like that. I really
Mhm.
like that you brought out that point, Emery, that you can kind of enjoy the process. You don't have to be stressed. You can pop right into our group. And you're right, Emery. I'm
Mhm.
always impressed. Like when we have our live classes and I'm just listening to you all have conversations.
Mhm.
Some of you all say some unique expressions that even as your teacher, I'm like, when did they learn
Mhm.
that? Like, and I'm impressed. So you're right. You
Yeah.
learn so much from each other. So that's a very good
Mhm.
point. Very good
Yeah.
point. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it.
Mhm.
Now, what do you enjoy the most? What do you enjoy the most? You're smiling. I love it. You don't seem
Mhm.
stressed. You seem still happy about English. What do you enjoy the most about
What
studying?
I enjoy, what I enjoyed the most, as I said before, is the fact that I can meet new people. For
Yeah.
me, this is one of the first points. Secondly, what I like the most is that I enjoy the fact that I can speak,
Mm,
just be fluent, speak without any kind of limitation. So
yeah.
it's great because by speaking, I improve myself. Though I don't have to wait
Yes.
to worry about mistake. I don't have to worry about expression. Just speak, and by speaking I learn. So that's one
Yes.
of the point that I really enjoy, being member of the academy and being able to chat with different people. It's really amazing for me.
I love it. I love it. I like that
Yeah.
you said being able to speak and not worrying about mistakes. That right there is key, Emery.
Mhm.
It kind of releases all of the stress and you just have a good time.
Yeah.
And you continue to improve. And I always sit on the sidelines smiling. I'm like, they don't know, but they're improving. So yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Now,
That's it. Mhm.
tell us again, for those listening, now many people listening are already a part of our family. Our family is pretty big, but there might be some people that are listening or watching that are not a part of our family. So, Emery, which program did you enroll in, just for them to understand? Was it the daily English lessons or was it the Speak English Like a Native program? Which program are you a part of?
I took Speak English Like a Native.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. And tell
That,
us,
that
why did you choose the Speak English Like a Native program?
Oh, I think at the beginning, as I said, my mom lives in Maryland, and for me, it was like saying, "Oh, if I want to be able to communicate and to understand people from Maryland, maybe I need to speak like them."
Yeah.
So by taking by taking that course, for me it was like, okay, it's a great thing to learn the culture, to learn some expression, to learn how they manage some of the situation out there. So that's
Yeah.
why I took Speak English Like an Native.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've probably been a part of many different courses. You've read many different books. You probably, when
Mhm.
school, had lots of classes.
Yeah.
What do you think is different about the Speak English Like a Native membership? Again, I've watched you improve. Again, I've
Mhm.
seen how much your English has improved. But for
Mhm.
you, because you're still a member, right? You've stayed with us
Yeah.
since 2020, right?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what makes this program so different for you? Like, what is it like, man, this is different from what I've studied before. What do you
Mhm.
think makes a difference?
I think the difference with the academy is the fact that conversation is number one. So you have to
Yeah.
speak, because the
Hmm.
main idea is to be able to communicate.
Yes.
So with the program, we have the opportunity to communicate with different people, with different colleagues, with different levels. At
Yeah.
the same time, to learn from each other, because
Yeah.
each other brings like words expression, and this is great because you learn every day. You learn because you are able to chat with different people, and you can catch some words and you can grab some expressions. Hey, this is great. I will use it when I have the opportunity to practice. And that's the reason why I'm still member of the academy, because I'm still in the process, I'm still learning, I'm still enjoy the fact that I can meet different people and learn from them.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So, how has your life changed? You've mentioned you have so many new friends now you're able to interact with and have conversations with from all around the world, and you're
Yeah.
enjoying this process of studying and learning English. How has your life changed, Emery, after speaking English? How has it changed?
Oh, I think one of the key element that I found out is that I don't have the I feel more confident. That's true.
Yeah.
That's number one. Secondly, uh, I'm able to speak freely
Yeah.
without thinking, because I used to think in French first and then translate in English. Now I can just speak in English without thinking that I
I
have to
love it.
translate in my mind in French first and then in English. Though, for me, that's one of the benefits that I can see now that
Mm,
I'm able to speak freely.
I
Yeah.
love it. You
Yeah.
said something that, man, is so key, Emery. You said,
Mhm.
no longer do you think in French and try to translate and then speak in English. Now you're
Yeah.
actually thinking in English and then just speaking. So, when did that happen for you? I want you to think and try to figure out what happened to where it just suddenly clicked. Like now
Mhm.
you can just think in English without thinking in your own language. What do you
Mhm.
think was the big change there? Was it just learning how Americans or native English speakers think? Because I know in the Speak English Like a Native program, every
Mhm.
month, a part of that program is step 3, the
Yeah.
analyze step, right? It's a 5-step
Yeah.
program. Step 3, and I
Yeah.
analyze the conversation and break down literally how we think.
Mhm.
When did it click for you?
For me, I think we had a conversation with you. It was like a live class with you,
Mm-hmm.
and you said something that
Mm.
hit my mind. That was that if you want to improve your English, first you have to speak instead of learning vocabulary, instead of learning uh,
Mm.
your expression. You have to speak, only speak first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Secondly, you have to just feel yourself to be like confident. If you want to be confident, you,
Yes.
you have to try, you have to put yourself out there and try to speak, and then you will improve. So that was
Yes.
like a shift in my case, to say, oh, she's right, so I have just to speak. It's a
Yeah.
conversation. Just speak. And by speaking, I will learn some new word and some new expression. So that's why at that time I say, okay, let me try
I
it
love
by
it.
speaking. And since then, I say that I can add some new expressions, some new words, and it's great.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. I'm so glad that stuck with you. That point
Hmm.
of just speak. And you know, it's so interesting, Emery. It's so opposite of what so many English learners have been taught or have heard in the past.
Hmm.
You are super intelligent. And I'm saying this to
Hmm.
you, Emery, and the person
Hmm.
listening or watching this
Yeah.
conversation. There are so many words and expressions already in your mind. Before you add, use what you've got, and you'll be surprised. And like you said, yes, confidence, so
Hmm.
important, so important. So
Hmm.
I see that you're confident. I see that
Hmm.
you're using what you're learning. I love it. You're thinking in English, speaking English.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. So what's your dream, Emery? What is your dream regarding English?
My dream is to be able, at the end of all this process, to be able to speak like a native. That was the main idea. So that should be my first objective, to be able to speak like a native. So I think
Uh-huh.
that my dream is to be able to be fluent and
Yes.
to speak like a native. That this is my dream number one. And after that, to be able also to communicate with people with different accents, different from different culture, because sometimes with the culture, you have people have different accents too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being able to understand, that's my second goal, to be able to understand people speaking English but with different accents.
I'm glad you said that. I really appreciate you saying that. And I think that's going to be very encouraging to the
Mm-hmm.
person, for the person listening, because I try to remind people, like members of our family, Emery, in America,
Mm-hmm.
there are so many different accents and so many different ways of pronouncing things. If you're from the
Yeah.
South, you sound
Mm-hmm.
different from someone that lives in the North. It's just,
Yeah.
it depends on where you are. So I like that you said not only
Mm-hmm.
that you want to speak like a native, but you
Mm-hmm.
want to be able to understand
Understand.
different accents. I
Yeah.
love that dream. I love that. That's an excellent dream.
Yeah.
Now,
Mm.
I want to ask you one last question, Emery. Again,
Yeah.
this conversation has been great. Those listening and watching have been enjoying, and
Mm-hmm.
you are inspiring, Emery. You
Mm-hmm.
are a lot further along than many other members of our family or many other English learners. So, it's a two-part question.
Yeah.
What
Go
do
ahead.
you think is the most important thing for an English learner to remember? And what other advice would you give English learners? What's the most important thing? And then what other pieces of advice, maybe study tips or
Mm-hmm.
different things that would help them?
I think if I had to give an advice, one of the things that is important for an English
Mhm.
learners is first to practice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first thing. You have to practice. You can't learn a language without practicing. So you
Yeah.
need practice. So one of the advice for them, instead of learning grammar, you have new words, but try to practice. Try to practice even for 15 minutes every
Yeah.
day, or every week. You will improve. You will gain some confidence. You will gain some knowledge by doing that. That's my number one advice that I will give
Mm.
to people. And the second one would be, don't worry about your mistake.
Mm.
Don't try to compare yourself to someone else.
Mm.
You have your own journey.
Yeah.
Try to follow the process and try to say, I'm learning, I'm starting, so let me learn. Do it
Yes.
by step by step, go step by
Yeah.
step, but trust the process and put yourself out there, and you will find out later that you gain some confidence, and you gain some knowledge, and you will be able to express yourself. And when you look back, you say, hey, I'm able to have a conversation without any kind of effort. So I think that's the main advice that I will give to an English learner.
I love it. I love it. Emery, I've really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much.
Me too.
I
Me
really
too.
appreciate it.
I really appreciate first. I appreciate your kindness. I appreciate
Aw.
your kindness. No, that's true. I appreciate your kindness. And secondly, I think that you are a model not only uh, for
Mm.
for many of us, but a model also for people like us, some young people that can uh, have a dream and say, oh, I want to change. I want to do something different. And
Mm.
you have a purpose. Your purpose is not to say, I don't want to make money. I want to be known
Mm.
as a famous. No, your purpose is to say, how can I improve and contribute to the
Yes.
world? How
Yes.
can I contribute? And for you, you bring a contribution by helping people for around the world, your impact is like huge. So you can impact most people in different countries. So congratulations to you, and very proud to be part of your academy.
Thank you so much, Emery. I really, really appreciate your kind words. I really do. And you hit the nail on the head. It's not about the money. I'm really focused on how can I help you, Emery, and every other member of our family, and even those that haven't joined our family yet. I just see the impact that I could potentially have, and I just want to help more people. So thank you for trusting me. I do appreciate you, and I'm honored to be your teacher.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Well, Emery, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you again.
Thank you, Teacher Tiffani. It was a pleasure.
Oh, great. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you. And thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.